Peace, y'all. What's good? This is DJ M80, behind the scenes producer for Ttspodcast 716. And yo, I just want to do a quick recap before we go further into season 3. So our last show was Shawnee Dixon, Chef Shawnee Dixon from Staten Island. Super dope person, very intellectual. She had a lot of key points. And salute to you, Shawnee. Food is banging and amazing, and we're all the way up in Buffalo. We need a restaurant up here. But I just basically want to do a recap on our season 1 and season 2, break down some of the points. So starting off, let's take a look at KP's story and how everything began for the Shack before we began TTS.
The Shack
first experience.
The Shack was born. My family got together and they shut it down because I scheduled it at the Seven Clan. And for those that don't know, the Seven Clan was a building formatted by my grandfather and my grandmother to hold sobriety meetings, Alcoholics Anonymous specifically.
Dope.
So my family took it as a sign of disrespect that I'm bringing weed and all these people to this place of sobriety.
Basically bringing drugs to, yeah.
I mean, that's what they were looking at it because they just didn't want me doing what I was doing, you know what I mean? But
at the time,
I respected it.
Right.
But it opened people's eyes. You know,
almost like how Snoop did in the 90s.
It's a fact.
Stop smoking crack, smoke this weed.
It's a fact.
So
when I had the pop-up
that's
event,
dope.
And all my family shut me down, they're like, Keith, you should have just took it up to Jay's place. Jay's place is Tusquare Fairgrounds, 5446 Walmore, Lewiston, New York.
Plug it in. I'm calling you Glade from now on, bro. Plug it in.
so they told me, Keith, you should have just had it up there. You know, you got so much parking, and you know what I mean. It's already an established gas station, and blah 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 blah. Okay, why didn't you guys Ben say that? Why didn't you guys Ben say that when I wanted to talk about it? You know what I mean? So it was a whole family dispute. It was a family dispute. And
back then, before, current days, they looked at weed as drugs.
But you know what's funny is when they charged
us crazy.
You know what's crazy is when my family shut me down,
it gave you the will to want to go harder.
They wanted me to fight. They wanted me to punch. They wanted me to do all. Bro, they came in, they was recording me.
Wow.
And I just says, you know what?
That's some police shit.
And now, mind you, I was stomping the ground for those that don't know, marketing and promotion and all that. Did this by myself. At that time, all these other events is going on. I'm going all the way out towards here, just taking flyers over here. You know what I mean? I'm doing this. I'm hitting every single college, tagging every single car, this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? So next thing you know, as everyone's getting close, they're closing up the party, all these cars are rolling, and I'm just like,
they're here for me.
Yeah. And it's just like, bro, it's just like, damn, like, why the... And my heart was hurt, bro.
Yeah.
Because I knew what I put into it, bro.
It's always family, though, bro. But, again, like you said, I
didn't let it stop me. So I said, you know what? Don't worry. In 2 weeks, my dispensary's opening up. Internally, I said that.
Word.
With the whoa. So like I said, my mom had this building at 5446 Walmore Road,
Glade,
and it was just a building. You know, my sister always wanted to put a grocery store in there, and all these other big fantastic dreams that just nobody ever acted on.
Oh.
You can dream, actions, baby. So, Mom,
Spencer's going. A shot if I've never heard a shot before. I ain't trying
to start.
Wasn't. No, I ain't trying to start it.
No, it wasn't.
It's an acted on, baby.
So, I mean, it was a little small building. It was like the Shack, literally. And it's funny because the customers still come in nowadays. They're like, man, I was here from day one. And I remember a lot of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it started as a little tiny little room, you know what I mean? Little sardine can with a whole bunch of little sardines stuffed in it. You know what I mean? Christmas time coming around, 2020 was a year. So wait, 23, 22, 21. My brother left me for dead. No, you really didn't. It was the year that we opened up. You know what I mean? He already had his vacation planned, this, that, third, but it wasn't stopping us.
Right.
I had my security at the door. You know what I mean? He was holding me down, and we had a line, bro. I had a line like the soup kitchen. And
Shit.
I'm like what?
You had the strip open, son.
And now, mind you, I've never really had the patience to deal with people. You know what I mean? I was a sticker kid.
Extra. Wait, what is it? Extra introvert. How do you say it? Huh? Extroverted introvert. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So I'm
don't like
I'm
people
calling my
either.
brother, JP. Look what you did to me. Why would you do this?
Opening day, he's in Miami or some shit.
No, it was already open. You know what I mean? Our name's starting to take off. Boom, boom,
But it was
boom,
popping.
boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Start taking off. And it's me and God rest his soul is Panda, you know what I mean? It was our other little brother. You know, he passed on.
Panda.
Yeah.
Good guy, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Panda been there from day one.
Yeah, he was day one.
Damn, that's dope, bro. Yeah. Panda always treat me good, bro.
Nah, he was good people, bro. Hell yeah. But nah, he was my doorman. Standing out there, making sure I was safe, you know.
He made sure I hold you
Hell
down.
yeah.
Security.
And that's where I realized where this was going. You know, I mean that was the icing. You know, bro, I remember every day for like six months straight, getting up and going right to the shack. You know, that was my life for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I knew where I wanted to go. So the shack was evolved. Concerts start flying. You know, I got this bright idea in the middle, like, I think it was January. Like May. I sat down with my cousin. I'm just like, damn, man. Tuscarora's really never had no entertainment. Like, nobody's ever did nothing for them. You know? So I start booking international concerts.
Yeah.
With my man right here. Hell yeah. The first one was Bone Thugs. You know what I mean?
Thank you, Bone Thugs and Harmony. You gave me a fiance and a baby.
Absolutely. You know what I mean? And that opened the doors to a whole different level because a lot of people see my movement.
Right. So I said,
You know what I mean? A lot of people
brought the heat for the
yeah.
people.
You know what I mean? So it's been nothing but a learning lesson, you know.
Going on that though, because that was fucking crazy for all of us.
That was a journey, bro.
Because obviously, you know, when you start a new venture, you're learning about that venture, and
You know how many fails I have had?
yeah, life to becoming successful. The premise of this show, you got to go through those trials and tribulations.
Bone Thugs.
So start off with that though. How was that? How was the Bone Thugs? How, you know, what happened? And I know what happened, but the people need to know what happened.
Start to finish.
Especially the haters.
I'm gonna send you some pictures.
Especially the haters. Fuck you. This is what happened behind closed doors.
That's a fact.
Niggas work really hard, or excuse my language, people work really hard to make shit happen.
We do.
So this is what happened.
Like I said, I'm gonna send some. This is the man behind this, all the episodes and all the other stuff.
And I'm smoking a vape, and it's pink and yellow.
So I'm letting him know.
So
I'm letting him. I'm gonna send him some pictures from the start of the projects to the ends. We had an old driving range back at the shop here, and next you know we formatted the LLC of Tuscarora Fairgrounds. Start doing the concerts, and this old driving range was overgrown. You're talking about trees. It probably hasn't been a driving range in probably 25 years.
Damn.
If not longer.
That long.
Yeah.
Driving range like golf driving, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a beautiful open field, you know what I mean? Well,
Definitely.
was.
No, it is.
So
y'all transformed it.
So I sent the deposit. I'm just like, holy fuck, I don't even got nowhere to perform yet. But that was the fire under my ass, you know, and it got the process done. You know, we threw up the first VIP building. We had the concert. Bone Thugs, you know what I mean? They whole finagled, whatever.
So y'all cleaned out the
whole
area
field.
that would be Tuscarora Fairgrounds. You had trees, you had overgrown grass.
It was bad.
Cleaned all that out. Built buildings, physical buildings, big ass buildings that are now our VIP sections.
Yep. Excuse me.
All right.
In a matter
I
of
just had to emphasize on
6
that.
weeks.
In 6 weeks.
And
It's fucking Superman shit.
48 hours before the concert, I get a call from their manager. 2 of them we're not gonna make it. We got to substitute 2 of them
Fuck out of here. I remember that.
But it was really strange because, like I says, from the beginning, inquiring about the meet and greets and everything just sequenced to a finagle right from the rip.
Yeah. Some of these entertainers are really.
I mean, it's a dog world, you know what I mean? And like I said, I'm just now getting into this. So, like I says, I'm going in. Everything I've been going into that I've created, you know what I mean, now it's for my community.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not just for myself.
But I really want people to know how much work you put into that first show, bro, to launch this. And now,
my goodness, bro,
it's fucking crazy. From the first to the last shows, that last show was, whew. Yeah. But that first show, though, really emphasized on how much work. So, you know,
it really they said
they can't put two of the entertainers. And not only was it just two, it was two of the most important entertainers. That's
a fact.
Bone Thugs and Harmony that people know. What happened?
Beanie and fucking Philadelphia pulled up.
All right, so Bone Thugs backed out.
So we had to,
and we had 24 hours to maybe, like 24 hours, right?
Yeah.
Less than 24 hours.
No, less than 24 hours.
Less than 24 hours to substitute them.
So, like I said, this has been nothing but a learning curve for myself, you, everything. It's just, it was a fun year, man. I can't wait till this next year. I really can't. But they didn't pull up. We had Philadelphia and Beanie pull up. They killed the stage, bro. They lit it up.
The stage.
And it was amazing. It was amazing turnout. Right. I don't care how many people were in the crowd.
Well, again, you're cultivating something new, not only just for your people, but you're bringing awareness to people.
Just know people.
Bro, I didn't even know y'all existed before that.
Yeah, a lot of people don't even know we don't have running water either.
Honestly, and I'm not calling it the res, but I'm just saying, like
Tuscarora Nation. There's a difference between a reservation and nation.
When I thought about nations, the only nation I knew of was the one in Basin. Yeah. That's the only one.
And just so you guys know, the difference between a reservation and nation,
that I knew.
As a reservation is formatted by the federal government. It's a land separated. It's to put concentration camps, natives on there.
Yeah,
a nation is symbolizes unity. It symbolizes sovereignty. It symbolizes their own rights.
I'm still learning, so don't take that offense.
No. I didn't mean to, this is education too. You know what I mean? But you know how we can do that. I love to teach.
So before that show, I didn't even know y'all was out here. You know what I'm saying? So imagine how many other people outside of this area are still learning. So imagine. Yo, bro, you did a lot, bro. You brought awareness. You brought people.
And I mean,
towards that, from the first show to that last show, bro, that shit was crazy.
Yeah, it was. Right, the second one that I planned was Redman and Method Man. You know what I mean? And it just
you had no control over that.
No, I couldn't, bro.
And we gotta be real. And for y'all that's watching, you gotta be real too. If you planned on coming to that show and they backed out. They didn't just back out.
It wasn't a back out, no.
Because if you were offered millions of dollars to shoot a movie, what are you gonna go with? Right? You gotta be real. That's what happened. They got offered to shoot a movie in fucking Brazil somewhere.
No, that was already pre-planned. It was just, it was just everything that happened with the COVID.
Just didn't line up.
It was just
And the movie that they got booked for actually, it happened during COVID.
Yeah,
so
yep.
It just happened to fucking fall on when we booked them for the show,
So they get the call. The manager gets a call.
That's
saying,
the second show, by the way.
Yeah, and we have to go. We're not going to show up. If we get there and X, Y, it was a whole thing.
We learned about it that day, basically.
So that one right there was substitute with Jim Jones, Mano.
Ghostface,
The Lox,
Trife Diesel.
I
got to spin for all of them.
It was a blessing, man. And I got to thank K Woods, And for those Woods. Absolutely, make sure you go follow
Water Team.
Make sure you go follow his foundation, man. His drive is very unique, similar to mine. Staten Island, he's putting them on the map in a unique way that the community is affected in a great way for him. So like I said, if you guys really get a chance, the K Woods Foundation, make sure you go support it. You know what I mean? Drop some dollars in there if you can. He got a very strong purpose, you know what I mean? Also, we also got the Shaq Brothers Foundation over here.
And we're all peers, but
so like I
gotta get to that level. I want to be able to do that because y'all doing big things for the communities, bro.
And that's where it starts.
Like your coat drive you just did and the toy drive. That shit was dope.
I mean, they need it, bro.
Yeah,
they need it. You know what I mean? It's listen. Like I said, I come from a person that was collecting cans and splitting woods, and it's not going to stop me.
Right.
You know what I mean? In life, I know my goals. I know my obligations. I know what I have to do.
So just a quick recap. You grew up, troubled household,
yep.
Left house at 13, y'all, 13 years old. You know, got in trouble, went to jail, got out of jail, changed your life, collected cans, and now you own fucking the Shack and the whole fairgrounds. That just goes to show, like, you could do anything you put your mind to.
It's not just me behind the Shack, though, either, people. You know what I mean? My brother, you know, he likes to stay in the back. And
definitely.
You know what I mean?
But you're an avid role in it. You know what I'm saying?
Within this year, we created a Warrior Records. We created Tuscarora Fairgrounds. The Shack.
New single, DJ M80 and Project Pat and L Biz from Buffalo coming out real soon. First single under Warrior Records.
Absolutely.
By the way. Call me plug in.
Hey.
That's coming soon. That's coming soon.
Bro, I'm dying. The podcast.
Yeah.
What else? Construction.
The Shaq Brothers Foundation.
Shaq Brothers Foundation. Fairgrounds.
There's some more stuff.
Yeah.
And more stuff in the raps.
Oh yeah.
KP, your story's crazy, bro. I still to this day, think about it, and knowing you more on a personal level now, it all makes sense. So you've come a very, very long way. This has been definitely a different year, in my personal life, as far as meeting you and growing with the company. So salute to you, bro. TTS for life. You know what I'm saying? Warrior Records. That's something else. We'll keep that off the books for now. That's something separate. The next video we check out is going to be based off of the most extreme life-changing experience. And it was really executed and depicted in the Shawnee Dixon interview. So check that out.
So in that state of isolation and, the walls are up and you don't want nobody to know who you are. What was your transition like from that phase to developing, the unique sense that I don't need to put my guards up. I can understand life as it comes.
Mm-hmm. I didn't really understand that until I became an adult. I lived my whole life boxing myself in. I didn't become the bold Shawnee that I am today until around today. You know what I mean? I had to live and die and then live again in order for me to figure out that I was somebody whose presence was really powerful.
Live and die and live again. You went through a phase of that kind of, sort of, correct?
Absolutely. It wasn't even kind of, sort of. It was
comatose.
Yeah, it happened.
What happened? What was the cause of that?
Well, I would say that, what God created for me was the opportunity for a supernatural experience, which I asked for. And so literally living in a life in a box where I didn't know exactly the power, the gifts, and who the person was that I am today until I died. And so I had to actually embrace and accept death on September 11th, 2020. And when that day came, I was extremely prepared to lay down and die. And so dying and then being discovered by my family, and being home and losing, having those last breaths and then being resuscitated, brought back to life, and then in a coma, that was, a conversation or an experience and an opportunity in itself that I can't even express it. You know what I'm saying? I can only live in it. I can live in it every day knowing that I had the opportunity to experience death in a way where I now can embrace death in a new way. I can say, I'm going to live every single day of my life until I die.
A lot of people don't have that capability to even pull themselves from that cliff.
Mm-mm.
That's a lot to take in.
Take it in. Like,
I'm
you know,
trying
like,
to take it.
you should take that in, because at the end of the day, everybody has a punch-in date and a punch-out date. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has that, but we also have the dash in the middle. So it's like you live your life every day understanding I was born December 12th, 1976, and whatever my day is that I'm going to sunset from this realm into my new realm, what I'm really focused on is that dash in the middle of my tombstone. That represents my entire life. What does that dash mean to me? Not to everybody else. Everyone else in my afterlife, people that will look at that will say, Shawnee was this person to me. So uniquely, individually, collectively, I'm going to be that person to every single body. But what is it for me to be me? What is it for me to experience that dash every day? What is my mission or my mission statement every single day?
Every time you have the opportunity to wake up.
Every single time.
So now you mentioned that you asked for what came about upon this, correct?
Yes.
How was that like? Was it, I mean, because a lot of people could rub that genie in, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And everything else can reveal themselves before them. But not everybody's built and, you know what I mean, capable of that.
Right.
So actually projecting that into the atmosphere and then receiving that, those beautiful gifts, what do you recall from that? Like what the transition from requesting it to actually experiencing it?
I would say that what I was asking for, I don't really believe I was truly prepared for. That's right. So like a lot of times people will say to you, be careful what you ask for. You know, and that could be the minute, minuscule material things that we ask for every day. Like, you know, I want to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, you want to be a rapper. Do you know all the things that come with being a rapper? Can you handle not only being the rapper, can you handle being the public figure? Can you handle being the person that then has to accept isolation because of your popularity? Can you handle the fact that you'll never be able to shop again in a store without people chasing you down? Can you handle the fact that people will create fan clubs and it won't even be your words, it'll be somebody else's words? Can you handle the fact that your friends or your so-called friends or the people that surround you will now expect and not even ask for you to take care of them, and that you'll be out there on those stages and in those interviews and on those endorsement contracts, and you won't be doing it for yourself, you'll be doing it for them? Can you accept the fact that you've asked for that? You know what I'm saying? So when I asked for the supernatural experience of being the person that I am, I wasn't really sure if I was ready to be the person that I truly am. And it was that I was going to be dependent on by so many people, not just in my community, but everywhere, all over the world. And the people were, going to always expect me to be positive, because that's what I wanted to be. People were always going to expect me to smile. They were always going to expect me to be vibrant and alive and bright-eyed and bushy-tailed every single day. But is the truth that? You know what I'm saying? On my hardest, toughest, darkest day, can I smile in front of somebody because that's what they depend on me to be? And every day I have to be that person. That's a difficult task, because I'm not asking necessarily to then be myself. I'm asking to be something for somebody else. That's a job in itself, is to get up and get dressed every day and to bump into somebody outside that may be going through one of the most difficult times of their lives, and what the only thing that's going to require them or get them out of their really shitty day is me stepping up to them and saying, how are you today? I love you. Are you having a good day?
Could change somebody's whole life.
The whole day. I sometimes get upset with myself when I'm not,
fully vibrant.
When I'm not my whole self, because then it's like, you think of situations like where somebody commits suicide or attempts suicide. It's like, damn, I could have possibly changed the trajectory of their lives by just smiling. And I got to tell people that every day. It's like, you go outside, you never know what kind of day that person is having. When you bump into that person and you see them, you got to embrace them with love, because you have no idea what they're going through today. And you may be the medicine or the purpose or the person in front of them that actually saves their lives. And they won't even tell you. A lot of people that have those down days will stare you right in the face and smile and say they're having a good day and go home and attempt to kill themselves or hurt somebody else. And you have no idea if you are the person that had the power or the words or the encouragement or the motivation to get them out of their trouble.
Make them or break them.
Make them or break them every day.
We've had a lot of inspirational guests and stories on TTS Podcast 716, but by far the most inspirational story would have to be the story of K Woods. Take a look.
So I do this thing every year, you know what I mean? This might be my fourth year?
Fourth year in a row.
You know what I mean? I call it Family Fun Weekend. You know what I mean? So one day it's either a park or a water park ride or whatever. You like a Great Adventures, I'm gonna say. You know what I mean? I do a Great Adventures or whatever. I get the kids or whatever, get 2-3 buses or whatever, and we just ride up. So I do everything free for the kids or whatever. Easter, it ain't that. Like I took them on a cruise. We had like about 100 something. I did a cruise last year. Pandemic, I still did this shit. We had 2 buses. So I do that, yeah. So the weekend, so Saturday I do a splish splash or something like that with the kids or whatever, and some adults. And this Sunday is more like you got the more family, you know what I mean, family day. We all vibe, you know what I mean, different projects. I had them on the buses or whatever, and family. So we just come together and do family, you know what I mean? So we go up to the big park. I serve our mad food. You know what I mean? Burgers, hot dogs. Yeah, you know what I mean?
All the families come together and just.
How do you do it?
We cook, y'all cook, they cook, or fellowship basically.
How I do it, man? I can't really say, man.
I mean that's a lot, bro. That's what I mean. That's deep.
That's deep. And I just go out and shop it up our own. We just get big grills.
Bring the whole hood out.
But I like it, man. You know
Smiles
what I mean?
on those faces, though, right?
Put smiles. That's
Earlier
shit.
when we were at the park there, I remember just listening to you, bro, and you made that statement. But I'm happy on your park right there that you created, you know, and that was a beautiful thing. Hearing that.
Yeah, definitely, man. Yeah, it's definitely a beautiful thing, man. Like I can't even front. I don't know how I'm doing it, but I'm doing it. I don't know, man. It's just a blessing, but I'm happy.
I think that's how you
do you have a vision, or are you just going with the motion?
I mean,
like,
this one.
You know the purpose, but
the vision I have, I ain't gonna front. The vision I have, I'm just been sticking with it. You know what I mean? And you know they always say like, you know, we always got a vision. We go halfway with it. You know what I mean? Cause we get frustrated or whatever. But you know, like I just never gave up on it. You know what I mean? I had many doors closed on me to get this park done. You know what I mean? I had some help. You know what I mean? I got somebody that's, you know what I mean, had a belief or had to do whatever, but it was like, I had to get that park done. You know what I mean? Like, we need a park in the hood. We never had that shit.
you can't say nothing against that.
We should have been had a park in the hood.
Nobody did that, right?
No, nobody did that.
Nobody. You know what I mean?
God did that.
Much respect.
So, you know, that's a blessing, but once I get the bottom done, it's over.
Phase 2.
That's it. That's the second phase, and I know I can get it done. But the way I'm gonna do this, I'm a campaigner, and I'm gonna have a lot of brothers involved with it. You know what I mean? Between my rappers, my childhood friends. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna go real ham on it because what we need is shit that we didn't have. Certain brothers that I know that's around in the hood now can relate to that. You know what I mean? So it's like for us to get that done for the babies, I know I can get help with that more than anything. You know what I mean? So that's my next vision, to really just campaign that shit. I need that shit done by next year. Like, you know what I mean? Fuck around the summer. Who knows? I'm plotting it now. You know what I mean? The groundbreaking. So me doing the groundbreaking, you know what I mean? I brought a lot of attention to a lot of people. You know what I mean? I'm just want the right people involved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just trying to snatch anybody money and all that. Because I've been having certain people come to me, you know what I mean, with some money and shit. To do the shit, you know what I mean? But it's like, nah, I don't know. You know what I mean? Gotta be right for us. But that's where I'm at with it.
Would you consider yourself, and nothing against musically, but on a individual basis, would you consider yourself more musically inclined, or would you consider yourself more mentally inclined, meaning artist or a business mind frame?
I'm gonna say a little bit of both, but I'm gonna say more business right now. You know what I mean? Because again, me growing up, like I ain't graduate or go to college, and you know what I mean? Like the motherfuckers just gave me my diploma. It's like, yeah, don't even come back to the school, my nigga. Like, you know what I mean? I was one of those. So it's like, you know, I graduated, but I ain't graduate, walk across the motherfucking you know what I mean, the stage and shit. But I felt good graduating the day when I cut the ribbon in Park Hill Day. You know what I mean? That was my graduation walking across. You know what I mean? Motherfuckers thinking I couldn't do whatever. So that was it for me right there. So the vision I got, I'm gonna continue it. You know what I mean? Because I know I can do it. You know what I mean? It might take time. It took 4 years for that shit. You know what I mean? But I got it done. You know what I mean? So, you know, my next vision, like I said, phase 2 is coming. Word.
Phase 2 coming, baby.
Stay tuned.
When it comes to advice, that is very hard to find from a reliable source. Mighty Fine, Mighty, my boy, shout out. You gave some great advice at the end of your episode, and I just think we should go back to that. So, viewers, check this out.
If you're not collaborating to get the job done, then it's like, what the
There's
fuck?
no
Like,
unity.
There's no fucking I in team, you know. So it's got to be a team effort to take this.
That's one of this man's things right here. He loves
dude,
to build, bro.
It's that easy, right?
Yeah,
Let's
so
we
I
both
ran
got
the-
a goal. You know, let me tell me what your goal is. I'll tell you what my goal is. And instead of trying to like around each other, let's both do both of our goals.
I ran the department. The
that shit.
education department was about 7 of us, and it just always took a team because I wasn't a teacher. I just coordinated the fucking department. They were the teachers. They were the ones like teaching the kids, teaching them math, teaching them science, you know, shit like that. But I always relied on my team. Like they were the core of everything.
Right.
So there's no I in team.
No, I mean there's an I that you play in that team. Like I play this position in this team, but you have to know your fucking position on the team.
That's huge, man.
Like,
As cliche
if I'm the
as
coach,
that is,
you can't be the coach too. Like,
Right.
I mean, you could be an
Right.
assistant coach, but you know, you got to be the defensive coordinator. You got to, and I always made that analogy to kids that I interviewed to come into the program. It was it was like, what can you bring to my team? How can you help us win? I want to get to the Super Bowl every fucking year.
yeah.
How can you help us win? And they like. And a lot of, you know, young adults probably don't know how to answer that question. Maybe it was their first time in an interview. So, just take your time. What can you bring? Like, what value? Like, and I give them some examples because I said, I want to win all the time. Because a lot of them said they played sports. So I was like, oh, so you know about sports. NBA, basketball, football. I want to win the chip every year. I want to win the fucking Lombardi every year.
Nonstop.
I want to win the fucking, what's the hockey joint?
The Stanley Cup.
The Stanley every year. What position can you play on my team, number one, or what value can you bring? That's it. Help us win.
Yeah.
So the team is important, man. You know,
Trying to win the World Cup.
the World Cup.
But I
A
mean,
couple days ago,
it
who
goes
won
right
that?
down. What he's talking about is it goes right down to the people that fills out with water bottles, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And he's not joking about that. You know what I mean? Like I said,
the oil,
in
man.
order to be very successful, you know what I mean, you got to know your position in life. And I like to look at it as life's a game of chess. You know what I mean? Not everybody's a pawn. Not everybody's a rook. You know what I mean? Not everybody can do this and they do that. You know what I mean? It's each human is unique in their own abilities. You know.
Yeah.
That's what we all created, you know what I mean? Back in our original time from the natives say, you know what I mean?
Right.
Each one teach one. I'm here to learn from you. You're here to learn from me.
Without a doubt.
You know what I was just talking about with my family because my wife, he's half native. What do you call it? The turtle. And and I was just like looking it up the other day. It was like the turtle. When you talk about native, like I wanted to know exactly what the turtle resembled. And it's like slow and steady and resilient and all these other things. And I'm like, yo, I'm gonna start a GoFundMe. So and if anybody wants to help me, I want an iced out turtle.
Yeah.
Because literally, like it's like that
Would look sweet.
resemblance. Yeah. Like, we're gonna talk to my guy here. I want him with the iced out joint, but yeah, like it's like slow and steady.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Yeah.
not the prison, but I know our true believers in our heritage and our ways that have affiliations with the system would never, ever allow a turtle rattle, which is one of the most sacred rattles there is, to enter the prison because there's so much power that comes with it, you know what I mean? And a lot of the corruption that happens within there, that energy that comes with that turtle rattle would create so many chaotic things in there, and it's just trying to correct it because that's the power of the turtle rattle, you know what I mean?
I hear
So
that.
it's just, they won't even allow it in there to be sung. You know, it has to be substituted and everything.
Yeah, no doubt.
We're coming to that point of the episode where, you know what I mean, do a little recap and, you know, I'm going to ask our very in-depth question we'd like to ask our guests, you know what I mean, make it interesting. You know, you mentioned a lot of things about, you know, ambition, you know what I mean, the willingness to grind, you know what I mean, all these positive things, you know what I mean, the ability to help.
Yes.
Over all these years that you have been living, what is one thing that you have learned and you can honestly say about yourself amongst all this? We're going to do a little inverted question towards yourself to do a little self-reflection of what you have learned about yourself of all these years.
That you can get the job done if you put the work in. And so I mentioned that nobody starts at the top. And so looking at 2009 when I was released until now, and so I look back a lot. So today I was renovating a house that I bought. I was privileged enough to buy for my mom before she passed. And I see all the progress and I'm like, oh shit. I didn't have a fucking dollar. Maybe, no, I'm not going to say $1. I think I had $235 when I got out, maybe. Is that if you put work in, you know, right, you will get results back.
No.
So believe in yourself, right? Continue to work, put work in, and then you'll enjoy some of the fruits of your labor. You know, and be a good dude. Number one, that's the best advice I can give anybody. Keep your fucking word, right? If you say something, do it. And respect everyone. And if you have those, like, have some morals and some values, and then you'll get love anywhere you go. Because if your word isn't anything, it's not credible, then you're not credible. Like, if I told you, I know I was a little late. I told you I'd be here at 3. I was here at fucking 3:05, right? Right. But I'm just saying, like, if you can't keep your word, you need to go to the fucking end of the world to explain why, for whatever reason. It's got to be valid. I've heard every excuse in the fucking world, but keep your word and respect everybody. The word is number one. That's what I stand on. Like, if you don't have your word, I'm sorry, my guy. Like, then you're just suspect. So
No doubt.
and so, just, you know, to answer your question, hopefully I did answer it in some way, shape, or form. Is you know, keep pushing, man. Like, we've been through a whole lot. You've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. Like, whatever your situation is, just know and believe in yourself. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Things can always be better, but they can always be worse, you know? So I always look at both sides like, damn, I wish it was that, but it can always be worse. So as long as, you know, we're out here and breathing and having freedom, it's like, yo, man.
I want to hit deep.
I don't want the viewers to think our show is just about seriousness and, you know, life-changing events. You know, they get a little crazy sometimes, you know. Most of the time, our host and interviewees are, you know, chiefing. If you guys are coming to the studio, that's what's going down. But the funniest episode I would personally say would have to be by Shogun Wiz, when he was explaining his taste in custom clothing, if he was able to create a piece of clothing that was custom. I'm not going to elaborate. Watch this real quick.
If you were to be that domino effect right now to start something new, what would it be?
Like in the music industry?
In general.
Just in general? Shit, to start something new that no one's doing, probably like...
I mean, you don't have to put your $1 million idea out there, but just...
Right. I would say come out with like a material that nobody has, and come out with sweaters that has like this material that nobody has, like this Alaskan alpaca fur that nobody has in the world.
That's unique.
You know what I'm saying? Like some crazy like shit that feels like Buttersworth. You know what I'm saying? Like just melts when you wear it type shit.
What did you say? Alaskan what?
Alaskan alpaca fur. You know what I'm saying? Like some exotic, but it has to be like in like what they call those exotic dogs. They call them like micro dogs or whatever.
Oh, the what? The bullies?
Yeah, it's got to be like a micro exotic Atlanteus fucking alpaca.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
nice.
Like it's got to be some crazy fur that nobody has. Like I'll bring that out. Like which I ain't.
And you get all the animal haters against you.
Yeah, then there's that. Regardless, man, you're gonna get haters. You're doing good, you're gonna get haters. You're doing
No,
bad,
I
you're
know
gonna
that.
get them. You know what I mean?
No, that was just.
Nah,
But that does sound exotic.
They come for me if you're getting that aquatic animal fur, coming for me.
I didn't even heard that. What is it? What is that? Like a buffalo?
What's that? Nah, I don't know. I made it up. Like I said, Lancius is like a water, like the host.
Yeah, you just fooled me. Look at these over there laughing.
You know, the underwater host, the city Atlantis. You know,
Oh yeah,
Atlantis or whatever. You know, alpaca Atlantis fur. You know, it's rare. You said if something nobody has, I know nobody got that.
That's what makes you a unique musician, because your brain can go into space like that right there, bro.
You know what I mean? That's a different atmosphere, bro.
Yo, that shit's deep, bro.
I reached in a different bag right there. You know what I'm saying? That's some different shit. You're gonna get that here, my man. Trial and tribulations.
Absolutely, Brody. Oh man.
My boy said Atlantic alpacan fur. Yo, bro, I don't think that's real. But it sounded dope. It sounded real. You made it sound real, and it was funny, bro. You guys were on something else. You know what I'm saying? As far as the hilarity, that's another level of hilarity. Word. So, by the way, check out Shogun Wizard's new album out now. It's dope. Check it out. So we recently went on the road, and I relinked with my boy Kosher Dills, introduced him to KP, and we gave him an interview. So I would want to say this is one of our value interviews as far as some of the celebrities and icons that we've had on the show. This is much different. Kosher Dills, he's a MC's MC. You could catch him on the street corner rapping. You could catch him in the subway rapping. You can even catch him on Wildin' Out. Check out Kosher Dills, and in this clip right here was interesting.
I'll tell you this story. This is so crazy. So before I got on Wildin' Out, this is 2021. This is in October. I was rapping outside MSG, and this was before the Bing Bong thing came. I'm sure you guys knew about all the Bing Bong. Mm-hmm. Like that happened outside MSG from Side Talk, and I was rapping outside, and I'm like, I'm gonna rap outside the Knicks games until they let me perform at the Knicks halftime, or I'm gonna rap outside until they let me inside. So I started this whole brand, we outside till we inside, which is like we're knocking on doors till we're getting inside. Nice. And I ended up, eventually getting on Wildin' Out. I got the audition. This video of Fat Joe went viral. Fat Joe joined me. It was just like this crazy situation that was like, he was actually, in comparison, I told my girl this the other night. I was like, yo, Fat Joe was in the episode, and he was quoting Big L, obviously from DITC, and when he rapped to me, he spit the verse, enough's enough, Federals tried to send me, he was spitting from his rhymes from the joint with Big L, and and quote me if I'm not wrong, I don't know if that Fat Joe quote last night that we watched was with Big L, but
from in the movie,
yeah, I know it was definitely associated with him, DITC, and I thought Big L. So I told him we outside till we inside. A year later goes back, and it's December 1st, 2022. I am on stage at Madison Square Garden. Right now, it's sold out. I manifested this shit. I said I'm a rap outside Madison Square Garden. Until I get in, and I didn't perform. You know what I'm saying? I was on stage. We was Wildin' Out. We're there. I'm part of the crew. You know what I mean? I wasn't actually part of the show, but I'm on stage at Madison Square Garden. It's pretty amazing that I've done this.
Be outside until you was in.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful manifestation, man.
And then a month later, I was rapping outside again at like another thing, because the thing is, you are inside. It doesn't matter. Essentially, we are on the inside of our own path. Does that make sense? It's Absolutely. Like I am.
Each person's journey is unique.
Yeah, my journey is unique, man. I'm like I want to fall in love with it more. My God, like it's it's so ill. Like, I'm just like, yo, I don't even care. Like, because the thing is, I'm well aware that the entity that I'm part of is why they're there. It's not because of me. And for now, okay, I got that. That's a small window, right? That is a nice story to tell. Like, I was rapping outside Fat Joe, and then we're outside till we're inside, and then 13 months later, you know, from end of October to December 1st, I'm on stage at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
Right? So let's take that and say, yo, that's nice. That's a big victory for some, but for me, it's a small victory, because how about we just play my own set at Madison Square Garden? That's what I want. You know what I'm saying? I want you to DJ. I want you guys to be there and be like, okay, and then you're just like, okay, cool. Like, where do we sell the merch table? Where's the merch? You know what I mean? Because now I want to sell.
You're gonna need that,
right? So, but because people don't technically, are you hear the police? See, they coming for us now. They know we are
clothing line.
Yeah. So okay. And what's the next step? Okay, you play Madison Square Garden, you open up for an act, and or you just keep telling that story, because it's inspiring to a lot of kids. They're like, yo, that's it. And check it out, that high's going to come down, and then you get dark, and oh man, look, everyone else got it. And you're like, shut up, shut the fuck up. You stay on the path, my guy. Go back to that, go buy some studio time, make a song, which, you know, get out of your head. So I'm love to be like, my journey, at least in my mental health thing, is like staying my body out of my head.
Nice.
You know what I mean? Get out of this. Because up here, bro, you don't even get to experience, but you just see me, my physical, like, we're moving and jiving, you know? Because if I could be, I literally thought about that show. I don't know. I would meet someone from that show that we were just talking about this show where I met M80. I was like Killer Mike and Mickey Fax and G-Dep and these rappers, right, that are all famous in their own right, but all have different levels. Mickey Fax went on to do something, you know, one guy's not outside right now, he's incarcerated, and the other guy's part of one of the biggest rap groups of all time right now, Run the Jewels. And I'm like, you couldn't have told that guy that would have happened that year. That he know what I'm saying? He would have never. Oh yeah, I'm totally gonna be playing Coachella in front of tens of thousands and making $250,000 or whatever. But my thing is, you know, I'm trying to make a plan. And one thing I really loved about RZA was that he did make a 5-year plan. I'm afraid to make a 5-year plan, but like I need to do it. And just, you know, I would love to become, you know, more prolific at writing in script, writing jokes and comedy, doing stand-up, doing music, and combining for a live show where I could sell tickets, and, you know, also just helping people and sharing my story. But I do think, like, if I learned anything, right, trials and tribulations, is that the more I stayed in my head, the more I made bad choices.
Okay, I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you for sitting with us for 3 seasons. Our seasons typically go quarterly, so every 3 months we go into a new season. Thank you guys for watching every Tuesday at 9. We're going to stick with that. Tuesdays at 9 p.m. right here, TTS Podcast 716. You can listen to us on your favorite podcast. You can also check us out right here on YouTube, TTS 716. TTS Podcast 716. Sorry about that. I'm going to close the show, and it'll only be right. I'm going to drop a little bit of knowledge of y'all from my personal interview, and it's regarding basically not judging the book by its cover. You know what I'm saying? Your blessings are always disguised. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to give y'all a little clip of how, you know, I basically got put on. You know what I'm saying? So check this out. Other than that, I will see y'all next Tuesday. Tune in, TTS Podcast 716. Peace. So look, this is how close. I got this shit tatted on my head. Be a gentleman. You can't even see it because I ain't cut my shit. But it goes back to this. You never know where you're going to get in life by doing something as simply as holding a door open for somebody. All right? So when I was 22, I recorded a commercial for a local entertainment company. They were bringing Tank and Genuine to Rochester. Obviously, I had backstage and all of that. So I'm out there. I go to the concert. I go to the side of the building. I'm smoking a cigarette or a Black and Mild, one or the other. And this kid with this Midwest accent comes up to me. He's like, yo, I know Tank personally, dog, please. I just drove here all the way from Ohio because I knew about the show just so I could, get back with Tank because Tank lives in LA or some shit. So this was a good reason to get, He's begging me. And I saw the look in his eyes and I've been him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've been him my whole life. I've been sneaking up the tour buses and when shows come, hanging out, to pass off a beat tape. And, I've been that kid. So I let him in. And I'm like, all right, come on. Now, that probably was a huge safety protocol. I did think about that, but I also thought about how positive it made me feel that he wasn't there to do harm.
Yeah.
So as soon as I brought him in the building, Tank runs up to him, gives him a big hug, throws him up in the air, they're laughing and all this other shit. I'm like, yo, so he wasn't lying. Like, I went with my gut, and, we lit now. So he does that. Skipping through it, it was a couple years ago. All right, All right, so by the end of the night, I invite him to my studio. I had a pretty famous studio on Main Street in Rochester. I recorded, like, all the local guys there. And it was 2 blocks away from the Armory. I'm like, yo, pull up. Let's record real quick before you go back to Ohio. He comes through. We end up doing like 5 tracks that night, bro. I made the beats right on the spot. He wrote right on the spot. And then I'm like, yo, so, like, when you coming back? And he's like, well, shit, I ain't leaving. I met a girl. I'm staying. I'm like, yo, shit. So I'm trying to shorten this as possible, as quick as possible as I can. His name is Metaphors. So shout out Metaphors from Columbus, Ohio. That's my boy. Short Fuse for Life is tatted. You know what I'm saying? A couple weeks later, he's like, I ain't tell you, but I'm on MTV's One World Hip Hop Championship battling for $1 million. I'm like, oh shit. And he's like, yo, I gotta run to Cali. So he does that. I'm still by his side. I'm sending him beats while he's on the road. He makes it almost to the finals before they cancel the show. Actually, he did make it to the final round. They canceled the show in the middle. It was crazy. They fucked you in that, but so quickly to find out, G-Dep is on the show.
Shit.
Yep, G-Dep's on the show, and this is my last ramble. G-Dep's on the show, and growing up, I looked up to G-Dep, and I was a big fan of Bad Boy and all of that. I'm like, well, damn, this could be my chance. I'm like, yo, Meta, put me on with G-Dep. Let him know I make beats, I DJ, engineer, all this other shit. But more importantly, let him know that ask him how much he's gonna charge me to come to my birthday party. Like I said, when I do shit, I think way bigger than. I'll spend my last penny just to make it happen because that's what I want so bad. You know what I mean? So I freaking rented the club out, Club Liquid. Shout out to Montaneries. I rented out Club Liquid. I had 2 stretch Escalades, 1 black, 1 white. Fucking G-Dep. Had G-Dep come to town, perform. Brought him to the studio. It was a wrap after I brought him to the studio. Brought him to the studio. We did 2 tracks that night. And then he's like, yo, you gotta come to the city. I need a DJ. I need to be around your energy. Because I'm building my shit again. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that's when I moved down there. But long story short, you never know. Holding the door open for somebody, that is what got me in the door. Not all of the grinding before that. Something just believing in somebody that I saw in myself. I held the door open for this kid. He puts me on with G-Dep. And because of G-Dep, I go down to the city. I rub all these other shoulders and meet all these other people behind it. And I was in the city because of G-Dep. That's how I got affiliated with Wu-Tang. All of that happened from opening a door and letting someone in. So be humble, y'all.